Team match. Match 2.
Well,
God, we're good.
Well,
God, we're good.
Is the Artosis
Rotterdam
the smartest?
apology accepted.
I'm sending Rotterdam home.
Roddy, proxy's happening.
All right, so here it is.
Wow, that's a serious proxy.
It's too bad they don't put me as the coach anymore for these teams, man, because I just tell them what builds are coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, Artosis.
So easy.
Yeah. You're too busy saving esports with your casting.
I know. God.
Jeez. Well, I guess there's nothing in my main.
This is funny.
Okay.
Look at that. It's right there.
Okay, so this is...
Wait, is he doing two barracks in his main?
I was about to say, so this is going to get very weird because normally you don't go 2 racks in your main, and so a double proxied racks can put a lot of pressure on a single proxy racks, but I think that Time's opening unintentionally mutes what Maru's trying to do.
I think it might be intentional, though. Because you know that Time
really?
watches every Maru VOD.
Oh, my God. Or listens to every Artosis prediction before the cast?
Well, that would be the smartest thing he could do because it would save him a hell of a lot of time because I already watch all the Maru VODs. But, like, if I can know that most likely this is what Maru is doing, Time sure as hell can know this as well. So Time actually has a perfect counter here.
This is crazy. This is so impressive. So you have 2 players basically doing the almost identical builds, except thematically Maru's is way riskier. And in this case, it's being directly countered.
Yeah,
unless there's some major error in control here. Wow.
So he picks off the SCV already. This is basically done. I think Maru needs to make 4 Reapers and go home with them. I don't think that there's really much else.
This is
like,
but how do you stop Time from not snowballing with his own Reapers?
Well,
then,
I think
right?
that's why
isn't
you need
that the problem.
I think that's why you need 4. If you have 4 over in your main, then if they're trying to jump up, you can kill so many before they jump up and get their shots off. You know, between the grenades and your shots, because they don't have the vision as they jump and they can't shoot while they jump. So we'll see exactly how many he makes, but I think it needs to be at least 4. It looks like he's going for 6 at the moment.
I don't know if you know the fine math on this one, Artosis, but do you still use one of the barracks to scout the main, or do you want them both to go back?
Oh, I think you definitely send one in.
No matter what? Okay.
Send one in, send one
I'm really curious about this because it's Time going for 2 barracks. I guess, God, yeah, but it's still such a long travel distance, too, to get back home. Yeah, okay, no, I see what you're saying.
And I think you need to see what add-ons he has for his other buildings, if he made a command center, things like that. So here we are.
Here we are, Artosis.
Yeah,
there's that one barracks to scout. This other barracks is going to have to be sent back home, but there's going to be a hiccuped production here.
And it looks like 6 for 6 at the moment. The Hellion coming out. There is a command center on the way for Maru, it looks like.
So Maru on his back foot here. There is going to be a moment where Time wants to try to initiate. I think that moment's actually going to be now. He's going to come out on the map. And one thing about this is that because of the Time's position, he can basically expand more quickly. Actually, to be honest, Time is winning in more directions than is actually normal because this build is so directly and totally counters what Maru is trying to do. So he might come down here with his army. I guess because of the Reapers, he could even go in the main too, but he'll be able to do damage wherever he chooses. And I'm not sure exactly how Maru is going to be able to deflect this.
Well, he does have a Cyclone, and he's making another one. So I think it's realistic that over time he can save this. But let's see. I mean, oh my God, he's going so ham. He actually gets the Cyclone. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, this is... you don't normally think of Reapers as something that could kill a building, but when you get them in enough numbers like this, it could absolutely happen. And by the way, if you notice, there's a very subtle difference in decision-making. That was sick.
Time just smashing right now.
If you notice that Maru seems to be more inclined to chuck the nades than Time, where Time seems to be more likely to try to dive over the nades and hit the Reapers, and I think that's why Time's also winning this fight. Very, very subtle difference in control here, but really cool stuff. And not being able to finish this command center is kind of a death sentence.
Yeah. Yeah. If he forces a cancel, like...
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh my God. And the Reapers can get out.
Maru is taking so much damage here.
Yeah.
So much damage. All right. He is going for Banshee with Cloak, but there's already a Raven out for Time. So still looking very good for Time in every single way. Just a great counter. Time is such a smart and good player. Already has his third command center on the way, because I think he is completely aware that there is nothing that Maru can do to punish.
Okay, Time is not going to give up the opportunity to have more pressure. It's a unique situation, too, that you normally never see in a TVT in this phase of the game, but the command center, again, is under threat of being destroyed due to Reaper pressure.
That was a very funny move to see from Time as well. The way he was microing his Cyclone, he was trying to lure anything out for a lock-on.
He was trying to bait anything.
Yeah. He's just like, no, anything come out here. I just want to whittle something down. But Maru was not giving him it. All right, so third command center now starting for Maru. He's down a lot of workers, though. Look at that, 8 worker deficit. It's a big deal.
Yes. Yeah, this is problematic. Granted, Time is an absolutely godlike player. Even a basic top-tier StarCraft player should have an easy time closing this out against Maru. I know Maru is pretty scary and pretty smart, but Maru's stats, if he's like an RPG character, are lower on every level in this game. Okay? Like, he is just weaker all around right now.
Oh, Maru?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to think, like, his base stats are higher, but he's debuffed massively.
Yes, he's very much so debuffed,
He's wearing a cursed bracelet.
He has no armor. Yes, he's wearing a cursed bracelet. Right. He's got to go to the shopkeep and buy purple moss or something to break the curse.
No, it's important.
No, I mean, this is just going to get worse. Now, I think Maru had the right idea here in getting the Banshees to come out here, but this is such an easy sidestep for Time.
Well, 7 SCV kills, 8, 9.
Count it with me. Sesame Street Esports, 9 is our number today.
Oh. 2 Banshees killed, 9 SCVs killed, a few Marines as well.
Okay, so Time with not just superior tank count, but just higher numbers of everything, and also when these barracks finish, the flow of production is going to be so scary. This is going to be a lot less about technique and a lot more about, you know, kind of rolling over Maru at this point in time. Again, all of this we've been brought to this position because of the way the game started.
You know, I think Maru will not be broken because he has double Raven and he has the same amount of siege tanks. So even though you see much larger Marine force here for Time, I don't believe that should be quite enough. I guess if he doesn't disable the Raven quickly enough.
Yeah, the Raven disable is going to be quite important.
Yeah, because this should just come down to disables.
He should have pre-shot it. Here we go.
Oops.
Disabling the tanks. The auto turret's coming down as well. A stem forward and a dive in. And these tanks, as the disable wears off, only one in siege mode remains. And actually, yeah, that was not handled correctly here by Time, who is now about to lose this position.
Yeah.
Wow.
It actually worked slightly better than I thought it would for Time because Maru was a little bit slow with his own disable because that was really the one thing you need to do is stop the Raven from disabling your tanks.
Right.
Because with that small amount of Marines, it's like, yeah, no, the siege tanks beat everything here.
Especially if they're clumped up like that.
Yeah.
However, Artosis, Time continues to now have a third base. He continues to have map presence. I think Time's mistakes in that engagement did not allow Maru to take a lead here.
Yeah, no, definitely right.
I think we're still in the exact same situation we had before.
You know, the longer the game goes, the more likely it is that Maru can close that gap. You know, over time, these small leads become less unless you do just the right things to make them more. Now, a little bit of stim harassment here. Auto turrets being thrown down. Maru having to play very defensively. Time not losing too much, so that's good for him.
Quick scan here, confirming that that army is running away.
And Time continuing to move out a little bit. Doesn't have as big an advantage as he did earlier on, but he's got some of these upgrades going. Maru's about to have stim in 1-1 done, though.
Okay. Just barely. That Cyclone's going to just get away. Time needs to be careful here. This could be an overextension. He's going to come in now. Again, the tank in the far right has been disabled, and as this infantry thins out, I got to say, I think we're starting to see Time kind of throw this.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, he keeps trying to kill him, but
I think Time is not appreciating, you know, where his advantage is at.
Yes.
And that it's actually just okay to get further ahead.
Yeah.
You know, when you're taking a lead against another StarCraft player, this is something that's really interesting that a lot of StarCraft players struggle with. They say, okay, I got the lead, and I don't understand what happens. I attack into him, and then I lose.
Yes.
And you said this a long time ago, Artosis, but it still rings true today. When you're ahead, what do? You actually just want to get further ahead. Yeah. The player who is behind is actually the one that has the burden of trying to solve the problem.
Yeah.
It's the guy that is ahead that simply continues to secure more and more of a position of victory, while the other player has to try to turn it around. And I think that is more so true in TVT than even the other matchups.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of the siege tank and the fact that if you are going to run into a siege tank, you are going to take not just the first hit, but the first hit with splash damage. So chunks of your army are being dealt damage. So I think what we're seeing here from Time is almost like a textbook example of how to not win once you have the lead from the build order.
It's very well said, Tasteless. And you can see that Maru knows what to do in a position like this. He's like, okay, I'm behind, but what does he focus on? You can see that the Marine count keeps getting higher for Time, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if Maru can keep up with things like Vikings and Siege Tanks and Ravens, that's where you have your defender's advantage and you're not going to be broken. But Time keeps trying to break because he has more Marines. So it's kind of like, the thing is, Time is a very good player, but he still has a lot of room for growth, and that's definitely one area where we see that, where it's like, okay, this is not the time to finish your opponent, this is the time to utilize things like having map control to take another base or something like that.
Get more upgrades, take more bases, cement that lead, and you know, and really make it Maru's problem. You know, a lot of times if you get a big lead like this, like in Time's position, or the position he was in, I should say, you want to do things like, okay, I should be ready for drops, because if he drops me and I kill the drop, then I'm even further ahead. You know, give him enough rope to hang himself.
All right, so Time right now is actually getting into a fusion core, which is really cool. That should be for Liberator range. If you start to win the air battle, you can definitely utilize like Siege Tank, Viking, Liberator to push down absolutely everything. So I think that's what we're going to end up seeing from him.
Okay, some scans coming down here. Now, is Time going to make this one work? Again, Maru now in superior supply. Okay, but not in siege mode. Very important here. The tanks get targeted down.
Oh my God! But a great anti-armor missile there.
But I'll tell you what. I think we might be able to see Time tiptoe the tanks a little bit further forward. Oh, I'm sorry. He's already in range of the CC. It's closer than I thought.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Now, he once again is going to try to go for that tank. The infantry is going to get in the way. Can the splash damage from these tanks obliterate the Marines of Maru? No, they cannot. And Time's army is pulverized.
Yeah. It really feels like we're watching Time play one of the other two matchups where he's just trying to attack. He has an advantage and he's trying to push it, but again, the defender's advantage in TVT can be so massive compared to these other matchups. So we're seeing him throw away a lot of armies, and after basically hard countering Maru's opening and getting a significant advantage with the early Reaper harassment, he's actually behind now.
Yeah, no, this is, again, I mean, I don't mean to hammer on this too hard, but this is really, truly a perfect example of having a lead and then throwing it away. You know, this is one of these, like, parable games. So, Time is going to try to mix it up here. He's going to come in here and drop, which I think is a good idea. We're going to see if it's going to work. Keep in mind that Maru is actually maxed out, so he's simply waiting to absorb a drop like this and eventually turn the game in his direction. Because essentially Maru has done, despite, and it's not so much a blunder, it's just he chose a build and it was directly countered. He played this game perfectly on his back foot, deflected everything, made all the right choices from here on out. This is why Maru is still renowned as one of the greatest Terrans of all time. And he is now going to reap the benefits of that. This counter push is going to, I mean, not 100%, but it should be strong enough to break some position here for Time. We'll see, though. It depends on the stems and the sieges and where they arrange themselves.
Well, Time is at 3 tanks against 9 from Maru, and he has less Marines, so it's not looking too hot. He does have a Viking advantage, and that definitely can make a difference. All right, he is pushing forward right now. The Viking advantage is going to push Maru's Vikings back, which makes it a lot harder for him to actually push onto that high ground. But Maru going to rotate around a little bit. He definitely has an opportunity here to do some damage elsewhere, maybe at that fourth base.
Okay.
Maybe he just runs up this ramp.
Yeah, coming into the mouth of the natural here. This is going to be really problematic once he gets it sieged up, because not only can he hit both the natural and this center right base, he completely cuts off circulation. TVT is so much a game of positioning, and this is Maru seizing an incredibly strong spot that is going to be a headache and possibly an impossibility to stop.
Well, you know, Maru definitely looks dominating right now, but there's a tech switch happening for time. He actually he's won the air battle already. He has more Vikings than Maru, and now he's making a bunch of Liberators. So with those Liberators, with the range, he can actually push back the siege tanks.
Yeah, if he can get the Liberators in the right spot. This one Liberator here is an example of an overextension, I think. He's going to be able to gun that down. Time is going to try to come in here and make this work. The Marines are quite clumped up. The Liberation Zones are coming down, though. It is just tanks remaining here.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to clear that all out. A lot of damage done to the economy of Time, and he got rid of that command center, so...
Yeah, no, a big victory for Maru. And just to
oh,
no, I don't know about... Okay, GG. Yeah, that's...